If you own even a single silver coin, listen very carefully for the next 15 minutes, because what I'm about to tell you could either triple your silver's value in 3 months or completely destroy you if you make the wrong move. Legendary trader Francis Hunt, the man who predicted the 2020 crash, the 2021 rally, just released an emergency video 4 days ago, and his warning is so serious that if I don't make this video right now, you'll miss a $75,000 opportunity. The price is currently at $33, but Francis Hunt is saying it will touch $90, then suddenly crash to $65. And after that, the journey to $200 begins. And all of this will happen in the next 6 months. But here's the real danger. 90% of people will panic and sell all their silver during the crash, and then they'll cry when it hits $200. Mystery setup. B-roll. Darkroom, documents, charts. So this story begins on January 14th, 2026, just 2 days ago. There was a private metals conference in London. Only 50 people were invited. The world's top silver traders, mining company CEOs, and some government representatives. Francis Hunt was present there. And after his presentation, there was complete silence in the room, because the data he showed was so shocking that nobody could believe it. The presentation title was The Great Silver Deception, When 2 Trillion in Paper Meets 2 Billion Ounces of Reality. Now, the mainstream media won't cover this conference. CNBC won't report it. Bloomberg will stay silent, because the truth is so dangerous that if it becomes public, there will be panic. But I have insider sources, and I've decoded Francis Hunt's entire warning. Look, Francis Hunt is not just any ordinary analyst. This is the trader who predicted the 2008 financial crisis 6 months in advance, who told people to buy Bitcoin at $3,000 in 2020, and what he's now saying about silver could completely change your financial future. But the biggest thing, his warning isn't just about price. His warning is about an event that will be more violent than the 1980 Hunt Brothers crash, a manipulation that will expose $2 trillion in fake paper silver, and when that happens, it will be too late. Historical context, flashback. Vintage footage style, dramatic music. Let me tell you a story. This is from 1980. There were 2 billionaire brothers, Nelson Hunt and William Hunt. They created a plan to corner the entire world's silver supply, to control it. They bought so much silver that the price went from $6 straight to $50 in just 3 months. 800% returns. People went crazy. Everyone was buying silver. But then what happened became the biggest silver crash in history. The US government created emergency rules. The Federal Reserve intervened. And in a single day, March 27, 1980, famously known as Silver Thursday, the price collapsed from $50 to $11. The Hunt brothers went bankrupt. Billions in losses. There were suicides. Families were destroyed. And today, in 2026, Francis Hunt is saying the exact same pattern is repeating. But this time the twist is that the game players have changed. In 1980, it was 2 American billionaires. In 2026, entire governments are involved. China has secretly accumulated 30,000 tons of silver. That's more than their official gold reserves. The Shanghai Gold Exchange has created a mechanism that will make physical delivery mandatory, and Western banks, JP Morgan, HSBC, Citibank, they're all trapped in a short position that's impossible to escape from. Francis Hunt says, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And what's rhyming right now is terrifying. In 1980, the crash came because supply increased. In 2026, the crash will come because suddenly everyone will realize that paper silver is fake, and the real physical silver doesn't exist in the quantities that have been claimed. The twist. Plot revelation, dramatic reveal, intense music. Now let me tell you the secret that Francis Hunt revealed at that London conference. This is the secret. The $2 trillion paper silver fraud. Here's how this system works. You go to a bank. You say, I want $10,000 worth of silver. The bank says, no problem. We'll give you a certificate. You have 300 ounces of silver in your account. Take it whenever you want. Sounds good, right? Wrong. According to the data Francis Hunt exposed, for every 1 ounce of physical silver, 400 ounces of paper silver certificates have been sold. Meaning, if today all the people in the world who say, I own silver, actually came to collect, only 0.25% would get it. The remaining 99.75%, they'll get nothing. This is a $2 trillion fraud, and this fraud will continue until someone exposes it, and now that exposure is about to happen. The Shanghai Gold Exchange implemented a new rule in December 2025, mandatory physical delivery within 48 hours, meaning if you bought silver, you must receive the actual metal within 2 days. No excuses, no delays. Why did China do this? Because they know Western banks don't have the physical silver. Francis Hunt showed the calculations. JP Morgan has 150,000 clients to whom they've given silver certificates. But in the actual vault, only 8,000 ounces. Citibank, 200,000 clients. In the vault, 12,000 ounces. HSBC. The situation is even worse. And now China has delivered checkmate. They've announced that for their industrial demand, they'll only buy silver from the Shanghai Exchange, where physical delivery is mandatory. Tesla needs silver for solar panels, get it from Shanghai. Samsung needs it for electronics, get it from Shanghai. Apple needs it, get it from Shanghai. Western banks now have two options. Option 1, admit your fake certificates. The market will panic, banks will collapse. Option 2, desperately buy physical silver from the open market and deliver. But the problem is, where will you buy from? How high will the price go? Francis Hunt says, when you have 400 paper claims on 1 real ounce and suddenly everyone wants delivery, that's not a squeeze, that's a nuclear explosion. And this explosion is going to happen in the next 90 days. The crisis, rising action. Multiple quick cuts, newspaper headlines, charts. Now let me tell you 3 real incidents that happened in the last 30 days. The mainstream media didn't cover them, but these incidents prove that Francis Hunt is right. Incident number 1, the Swiss Vault Mystery, January 12, 2026. A major precious metals vault in Switzerland suddenly announced there will be a 6-week delay in withdrawal requests, meaning the silver that you stored with a promise of 24-hour withdrawal will now take 6 weeks. Why? Officially, they said, security upgrade. But insider sources say, the vault is empty, the metal is gone. They want 6 weeks so they can buy from the open market in an emergency. When Francis Hunt heard this news, he tweeted, the first domino has fallen, more will follow. Incident number 2. The Mexican mining collapse. Mexico is the world's #1 silver producer, 23% of total supply. On January 8th, 4 major Mexican mining companies simultaneously reduced their production targets by 40%. Reason? Environmental regulations, labor strikes, technical issues. That's the official story. But the real story? Francis Hunt exposed it. These mining companies had made forward contracts, meaning 3 years ago they promised to deliver silver at $18 per ounce in the future. But the current market price is $33, meaning a $15 loss per ounce. If they deliver, they'll go bankrupt. So what did they do? They just stopped production, defaulted on contracts. And when the #1 producer isn't supplying, the shortage gets worse. Incident number 3, the Tesla panic buy, January 5th, 2026. Tesla issued an emergency tender. 10 million ounces of silver needed within 60 days, premium price acceptable. 10 million ounces. That's equivalent to Tesla's normal 6-month demand. Why such an emergency? Because Tesla discovered that their regular suppliers can't deliver. They were selling fake certificates. Elon Musk said privately, this is leaked information, if we don't secure physical silver now, our gigafactory production will halt by March. And Tesla isn't alone. Apple, Samsung, Panasonic, they all have the same problem. Francis Hunt analyzed all this data and said, industrial panic buying plus investment demand plus bank short covering. If these 3 forces come together, the price will cross $200, guaranteed. But then he gave another chilling warning. Before it hits $200, they will crash it to $65. They will shake out weak hands. 90% of retail investors will sell at the bottom out of fear, and then the real rally will start. This is the playbook. Don't fall for it. This is the most important warning, because this is where the biggest losses will happen. When people buy at $90, then panic sell at $65 during the crash, and then just watch as it goes to $200. The solution opportunity, lighter tone, empowering music. So now the question is, what will you do? Let me explain in simple language the strategy Francis Hunt shared. Phase 1, the rally to $90 next 30 days. This has already started. The price is currently $33. Francis says it will touch $85, $90 by the end of February. What should you do here? If you haven't bought physical silver yet, coins, bars, now is the time. But only buy physical. Don't buy ETFs, don't take paper certificates, because when the crash comes, paper holders will have nothing left. Phase 2, the crash to $65, March, April. This is where 90% of people will panic and sell. This crash will be deliberately engineered. Banks will want people to panic sell their silver so they can collect the physical metal. Media headlines will say, silver bubble bursts, investors lose millions. Experts will come on TV, I told you silver was overvalued. Francis Hunt's warning, this is the trap. This is where fortunes are made or lost. If you bought at $90 and panic sold at $65, you've become one of the 90% who missed the opportunity. Phase 3, the nuclear rally to 200 plus, May onwards. When the weak hands have sold their silver and left, the real rally will begin. Because the problem hasn't been solved, it's gotten even bigger. Banks tried to collect physical, they failed. Industrial companies are desperately buying. There's no supply. China has reached checkmate position. They'll demand physical delivery. And then, boom! Francis Hunt says, $200 is not the top. When this goes parabolic, we could see $300, maybe even $500 in a blow-off top. But that's speculation. Conservatively, $200 is very realistic by end of 2026. Action plan, Francis Hunt's exact words. Buy physical, store it yourself, not in a bank, not in someone else's vault, your possession. When it crashes to 65.70, that's when you back up the truck. Buy more. Don't panic sell. Ignore the noise, ignore the media, ignore the experts on TV, trust the fundamentals. This is a once-in-a-generation setup, like 1980, but this time, if you play it right, you win. The warning, climax. Very serious tone, close up. But I want to give you one final warning, and this warning is very serious. Francis Hunt said something at the conference that personally struck me. I've been in markets for 35 years. I've seen crashes, rallies, manipulations, everything. But what's coming in silver, and I've never seen anything like this. The level of fraud, the level of desperation, the level of potential violence in price movement, it's unprecedented. Meaning a 35-year experienced trader is saying this is unprecedented. Remember what happened in 2008? Lehman Brothers collapsed. Bear Stearns gone. People said it's impossible, too big to fail. But they failed, didn't they? In 2020, people said oil prices can't go negative, but it traded at $37. Anything can happen in markets. And when a $2 trillion fraud is exposed, the tsunami that comes will drown anyone who isn't prepared. I gave warnings before the 2020 COVID crash too. How many people listened? 5%? I warned about inflation in 2021. How many people listened? 10%. Today I'm warning you about silver. Francis Hunt is warning. The data is warning. The charts are warning. But still, 90% of people will do nothing. They'll say, we'll see. There's still time. This is all fake news. And 6 months later, when silver is at $200, they'll say, I wish I had listened. I wish I had taken action. Don't be that person. If you've watched this video this far, it means you're in the 10% who actually understand reality. So now take action. Next month, when the price touches $90, don't call me and say, brother, should I buy now? By then it will be too late. There will be premiums. There will be no availability. Now is the time. The price is reasonable now. There's availability now. Francis Hunt gave his message 4 days ago. I've explained it to you in detail today. Now the decision is yours. Call to action, resolution. Confident, empowering, close. So here's the final summary. Francis Hunt, legendary trader with a proven track record, has given a clear warning. Silver will go to $90, then crash to 65, then nuclear rally to 200 plus $2 trillion paper. Silver fraud is about to be exposed. 400 fake certificates for every 1 real ounce China's masterstroke. Shanghai Exchange has implemented mandatory physical delivery, putting Western banks in checkmate industrial panic. Tesla, Apple, Samsung are desperately buying silver because supply is running out. Swiss vaults are delaying deliveries. The first domino has fallen timeline. The next 90 days are critical. The crash will come in March, April. Don't panic sell. That's the trap. Action. Buy physical silver now. When it crashes to $65, buy more. Hold until $200. This information is literally worth $50,000 if you execute it correctly. If you found this video valuable, like it, share it. Because very few people understand this reality, and those who understand have a duty to make others aware too. In the next video, I'll tell you specifically which silver coins and bars are best, where to buy them from, and how to store them safely. Don't miss that video. Subscribe so you get the notification. And remember, Francis Hunt has given the warning. The data is clear, the charts are clear. What's about to happen will be written in history. The question is, which side of history will you be on? In the 90% who missed the opportunity, or in the 10% who were prepared and made life-changing returns? The decision is yours. The silver storm is coming. Make sure you're ready. Stay alert, stay informed, and most importantly, stay physical. I'm your brother, your financial guide. See you in the next video. Peace.